Good morning, guys. It's January 21st, 2022. It's about 6-ish in the morning. And today we're in Genesis chapter 9, verse 12 through Genesis chapter 9, verse 17. I know that seems like a lot, and I don't normally do that big of a chunk, but it's all one main theme, and I want to really look at this theme. So that's why I decided that we're gonna do this big of a chunk of verses. So I'm gonna start in Genesis chapter 9, verse 12. Then God said, I am giving you a sign of my covenant with you and with all living creatures for all generations to come. I have placed my rainbow in the clouds. It is a sign of my covenant with you and with all the earth. Now when I send clouds over the earth, the rainbow will appear in the clouds, and I will remember my covenant with you and with all living creatures. Never again will the flood waters destroy all life. When I see the rainbow in the clouds, I will remember the eternal covenant between God and every living creature on earth. Then God said to Noah, This rainbow is a sign of the covenant I am confirming with all creatures on earth. A rainbow. A beautiful sign of hope. You know, ever since we're little, kids draw rainbows. If we look all around us, we see the colors of the rainbow. Whether it's the green in the trees or, the yellow of the sun, the red in the roses, we see the color of the rainbow all around us. And we see it in the sky. God doesn't just make promises to make promises. God doesn't just make covenants to make covenants. No. God's heart broke severely when he had to flood the earth. And he had to destroy all living things except for the living things on the ark. And this is his way of saying, I know you're sinful. I know this about you and about humankind. But I also know that I will send another way to cleanse you. The way God cleansed the earth in the flood, that's what Jesus does for us. He cleanses us with his blood. And this rainbow that God gave to Noah, and I say God gave to Noah because it's the first time that anyone has ever seen a rainbow was in this moment in Noah's life. I don't want to forget to stress this again because I don't know if I have in the last couple of videos, but Noah, his family, they're all real people. All these moments we're reading about 3,000 years later, they are going through moment by moment, just like our lives. They don't know the end. They don't know where their story leads day after day after day. So this is real time to them. So for the first time in all of humankind, when Noah looks up into the sky, he sees this giant, colorful rainbow. And how beautiful was that? How beautiful was it to see a collection of all God's beauty in one thing? some scholars say that there wasn't, everything was barren and all that stuff, and I don't know how true that is. But I do know there was at least leaves and plants and all that. And to see the culminating beauty of all those different colors, the green of the leaves, the purple of plums, all that stuff culminating over a giant sky that literally for days, weeks even, did such destruction. Torrential downpours. I mean, and not just, oh, we're caught in a summer storm. No, this was torrential downpours. Constant hurricane winds. I mean, think about the worst hurricane on Earth, but imagine that hurricane covering the entire planet. That's what happened in Noah's life. That's what happened during the flood. Now, I don't know about you, but I would sit there in a little bit of fear. I'd be like, something's gonna show up in the sky. And God says the clouds are gonna come. The rain is going to come. God never shies away from the fact that we are going to face rainstorms. We are going to face trials and tribulation. We're gonna face this stuff because we live in a broken, fallen world. That was never his intention. But when sin entered the world, that's what happened. So God never shies away from that. God never says, oh, no. Now the flood's over and you'll never face another rainstorm. No. God says, no. But when the clouds come, when the rain comes, don't live in fear of the world being completely submerged in water again. Don't live in that fear. And I'm going to give you hope so that you can say, all right, God promised. And when you call upon him and say, Lord, it's raining, and all I see is dark, scary clouds, you know that there's hope. Because God said there'll always be a rainbow. Whether we see it visually with our eyes or we don't, it's there. And I don't know about you, but there's been so many times in the summer where I'll be driving or I'll be wherever, and you see off in the distance this dark storm cloud. And you think to yourself, uh-oh, I gotta race this thing. I gotta get home before the torrential downpour happens, because that's what it looks like. And it gets closer and closer and closer and bigger and bigger and bigger, and you know only a matter of time before the sky opens up and it's torrential. Whether it lasts 2 minutes, 2 hours, you don't know that. But God is saying here, he's saying, yes, that big storm cloud is coming. That giant, scary, angry-looking black storm cloud is coming. But, and this is the part that we need to understand, God doesn't leave us with no hope. Just like God didn't leave humankind and wash his hands of it. No, the hope lied in Noah. Just like God doesn't leave us completely hopeless. Our hope lies in Jesus and the eternal life that he has said that we can have if we believe in him. The hope to Noah right now, God understands. What just happened was terrifying. What just happened was absolutely, without a doubt, the scariest thing that ever has probably happened to Noah and his family. Like, I would be terrified. I would be scared every time it rained. Like, I'd be, thinking, oh no, I gotta build another ark. God knows this about him. God knows this about Noah and his family and all of us. That there are moments in our lives where we're like, whoa, No, 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 no. And we put our hands up and we say, I can't, I can't, I can't. I'm too scared. I'm terrified. I can't face this storm cloud. But God gives us hope. He doesn't lie to us. He doesn't say, well, now that I flood the earth, there'll be nothing. You will never have to worry about it. No, it's there. But hope is also there. He's saying, when one bad thing happens, when this storm cloud hits, I'm going to leave the rest of it dry. So that whoever is on dry land can come and help. I'm going to give you a sign that says, I am here. I understand the promise I made you, and I can give you, without a shadow of a doubt, the fact that I will never again, no matter how scary the cloud looks, no matter how dark and how angry it looks, it will never flood the earth again. We see this, and we see a loving, caring Father right here, Yahweh. We see him. We see him from, the epic proportions, the Creator, God who doused the world in a flood, who was sovereign, kept his promise, and destroyed the earth. We see that God. But we also see Yahweh right here. We see the love of the Father who is saying, I know you're scared. I know you're scared. I didn't save you to terrify you and to make you terrified of leaving your house 24/7. No. He says, I can guarantee the storm will come. But I can also guarantee that I will never again cause a massive flood that will cover the earth. So when the rain comes, when the storm comes, know I am here. And know that I see you. I know you're scared, and I'm going to give you this promise. I'm going to give you the promise of a rainbow. It's going to say, everything is okay. I am here. I love you. I see you. I don't know about you, but sometimes, in my darkest moments, I look for color. It's instinctual with me. I love color. I always have. And in that, I sometimes feel like that's God's way of saying it's okay. You're gonna be okay. Because He created all color. He created every single solitary color we see. But He also created the rainbow. He put it on the biggest surface that we could see, and that's the sky. I mean, think about it. The whole world can see the sky. The whole world can see the stars. The whole world can see the sun. Maybe not all at once, but they can see it. So God projected one of His biggest promises on one of the biggest places that He could. That the very thing that destroyed the earth, where the rains came from, He put His promise. He put His covenant with Noah. And He put His covenant with us. So remember, even though this happened 3,000 years ago, or whatever it was, not 300, 3,000 years ago, 6,000 years ago, whatever it was, even though this happened then, and this is in real time in Noah's life, this is also in real time in our lives. The storm will come. The scary rain cloud will show up. So will God's promise. That's the wonderful thing. So will God's promise. So my challenge to you today. Can you look out the window when you're driving or when you're walking or whatever it is that you're doing today? Or maybe if you're like us, stuck in quarantine, can you look around and see the color see God's promise. Because he does. He promises us two things in this text. One good and one not so good. He promises us the rain will come. The storm cloud will show up. But he also promises us that he loves us and sees us, and he wants us to see his promise to us. And like a good father, he gives us comfort to know that one day the storm will be over, the rain cloud will go away, and there'll be a bright blue sky with a giant rainbow, full of color, full of wonder, full of everything. Because if we have a God who's sovereign enough to keep his word and flood the earth, we also have a God who's so personal and loving and caring to show us a beautiful rainbow. It's so tender to show us this magnificent color in the sky. And we have a God. You have a God that will be there for you. No matter what storm you're in at this moment. No matter what fears and doubts you have. You have a loving Father who's saying, I'm here. I see you. I hear you. And I want to be with you. So I hope you guys see Jesus in everything you do today. And see the beautiful color, the beautiful promises of God all around us. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.